Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel where we dive into all things Roblox. Today we're casting a line into Fisch. Yeah, you know, that fishing game that's somehow more intense than most battle royales. But here's the deal, not every rod in Fisch is worth your hard-earned coins or the time you'll spend grinding. Trust me, some of these rods are about as useful as catching air. That's why I'm here to help you navigate the murky waters of rod choices with our definitive Fisch Rod Tier List. Whether you're just starting out or you've been reeling in big catches for a while, I'll show you which rods are the absolute game changers and which ones are, well, best left in the store. Let's break it all down so you can focus on the rods that'll keep your inventory stacked with trophies. I'm quickly moving on to the video and I'm ranking rods in Fisch. Before we start, if you enjoy these types of list videos, don't forget to like the video and subscribe. Enjoy watching! The rods in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right: Fortune Rod, Fast Rod, Lucky Rod, Plastic Rod, Long Rod, Flimsy Rod, and Training Rod. Let's dive into the fascinating and sometimes frustrating world of C-tier rods in Fisch, the rods you pick when you're either just starting out or accidentally bought the wrong one at the shop. These rods might not win you any tournaments, but hey, they've got their quirks. Let's break them down. First up, the Fortune Rod. On paper, it sounds cool. 110% luck? Yes, please. But wait, that's where the good news ends. It's got a miserable lure of 35%, and the resilience is somehow even worse at 15%. Sure, it might help you complete your bestiary if you're desperate, but honestly, for the price tag, you're better off saving your coins for something with actual stats. Then we have the Fast Rod. The name's doing a lot of heavy lifting here. It's got a decent lure speed at 45%, but the rest? Luck is to 15%. Max kg is just 175, and it's overall outclassed by the Carbon Rod in every way. Honestly, it's like buying a sports car with no engine. It looks flashy, but doesn't get the job done. Oh, and don't even get me started on the Plastic Rod. It's got some okay-ish balance with small boosts like 15% luck and 10% resilience. But let's be real, this thing maxes out at 100 kg. By the time you're ready to use it, you should have already skipped to, you guessed it, the Carbon Rod. This one just exists to make you realize how much better your options are. And for the laughs, let's wrap with the Training Rod and Flimsy Rod, two contenders for why does this even exist? The Training Rod is weirdly good at catching logs for some reason, but with stats like 70% luck and a max kg of 7.6, it's more of a punishment than a tool. Meanwhile, the Flimsy Rod has literally no redeeming qualities. With a max kg of 10.4, it's basically a toothpick in rod form. Use it if you like pain. So there you have it. C-tier rods, folks. They're not gonna change your life, but they'll definitely teach you what not to use. Which one's your least favorite? Or maybe you've got a weird success story with one of these. Let me know. I've gotta hear this. The rods in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right: Scurvy Rod, Carbon Rod, Fungal Rod, Magma Rod, Haunted Rod, Rapid Rod, Midas Rod, and Buddy Rod. Alright. Let's talk about rods in Fisch, specifically the B-tier beauties, those rods that make you say, hey, not bad, but also could be better. They're the middle children of the fishing world, and trust me, some of these have serious personality. So grab your bait, because we're diving into the good, the bad, and the wildly overpriced. First up, the Scurvy Rod. Don't let the name fool you. This rod isn't that bad. Solid stats with 15% lure, 50% luck, and a 2000 kg max weight. It's reliable, sure, but here's the kicker. It costs an arm and a fin. No special abilities either. It's like buying a sports car only to realize it doesn't have cruise control. Now, for the early game crowd, we've got the Carbon Rod. This thing is your starter buddy, super affordable and easy to use. With 25% luck and a tiny splash of control, it's great for those first few fishing trips. But once you're ready to take on bigger fish, this rod is like bringing a butter knife to a sword fight. Let's spice things up with the Fungal Rod. Not only does it boost your luck by 70% for 45 seconds after a catch, but it also works while opening crab cages. It's like having a lucky charm and a multi-tool rolled into one. The downside? It's a bit of a pain to get, and its max weight is just 200 kg. Still, for an early game rod, this one's a fungi-tastic pick. The Magma Rod though, oh boy. This rod's entire personality is, I fish in lava. And hey, that's cool. Literally volcanic. But with abysmal stats like 70% lure and only 15% luck, it's like someone took a stick, slapped some fireproof paint on it, and called it a day. Unless you're fishing in Roslet Volcano, just skip it. And finally, let's talk about the Midas Rod. This golden boy has a 60% chance to turn fish into gold, double the value. Sounds amazing, right? But wait, its stats are trash, and catching anything difficult without enchants? Forget it. Plus, it's ridiculously expensive. It's the rod equivalent of a get-rich-quick scheme. Shiny, but not as useful as it seems. So, there you have it. The B-tier rods are a mixed bag. Some are reliable early-game heroes, while others are overpriced one-trick ponies. Let me know in the comments which rod you're rocking in Fish. Are you Team Scurvy, or is the fungal rod your jam? The rods in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, King's Rod, Destiny Rod, Steady Rod, Nocturnal Rod, Reinforced Rod, Relic Rod, and Magnet Rod. Alright, let's dive into the juiciest rods in Fish. You know, the ones that make you go, why wasn't I using this before? Today, we're tackling the A-tier rods. Those versatile powerhouses that aren't quite the best, but can still make you feel like a fishing legend. Let's break it down, rod by rod. And trust me, you're gonna want to hear this. First up is the King's Rod, the ruler of getting those big and giant fish, but maybe not your wallet. With a luck boost of 55% and the ability to catch any fish with ease, this rod is fantastic if your goal is to flex your bestiary or show off your massive catches. However, money-making isn't its strong suit. But hey, when you've got infinite weight capacity and fish 15% bigger, who cares about a little cash? It's called the King's Rod for a reason. Now, the Destiny Rod is where things get interesting. This bad boy offers a whopping 250% luck and has a 5% chance to catch shiny or sparkling fish. Yeah, you heard me, shiny fish. It's the rod for those of you chasing rare catches for your collection. However, its lack of control and resilience means you'll struggle with tough fish unless you enchant it. But for shiny hunters, absolute gold. Just don't expect it to help you roll in riches. For those looking to keep it steady, there's the aptly named Steady Rod. It's a beginner's dream, cheap, easy to use, and with a 60% lure rate that slows the fish down just enough to make catching them feel like a breeze. Its 100,000 max weight capacity also means it's solid for bigger catches early on. Sure, it's not the best for long-term farming, but if you're starting out and need something reliable, this rod has your back. Feeling like a nighttime explorer? The Nocturnal Rod might be your best friend. This beauty lets you catch nocturnal and diurnal fish anytime you want. No waiting for the sun to set or rise. It's perfect for completing your bestiary, but don't expect it to handle hard-to-catch fish without a little help from enchants or bait. And yeah, like most of these rods, it's not the moneymaker you'd hope for. Finally, let's talk about the quirky outliers, the Reinforced Rod and the Magnet Rod. The Reinforced Rod isn't flashy, but it lets you fish in any harmful liquid, which is oddly specific but occasionally a lifesaver. Meanwhile, the Magnet Rod, it's a crate magnet, literally. Over 95% chance to hook crates, making it fantastic for farming money early on, but don't expect it to help you fill out that fishy checklist. There you have it. A-tier rods in all their glory. Each has its unique quirks and specialties, so it's really about what kind of fishing legend you want to be. Are you chasing shinies, stacking your wallet, or filling out your bestiary? Let me know which rod you're rocking in Fish. And hey, don't forget to enchant if things get tricky. The rods in this tier are in order from top left to bottom right. No Life Rod, Trident Rod, Rod of the Depths, Aurora Rod, Mythical Rod, and Sunken Rod. Alright, reel in your curiosity because we're diving deep into the S-tier rods of Fish, the tools of legends that turn the ocean into your personal piggy bank, or your biggest nemesis. These rods aren't just gear, they're practically magic wands for anglers. But hey, not all S-tier rods are created equal. So let's break it down and see which one deserves a permanent spot in your inventory. Starting with the No Life Rod, it's the king of stats with infinite max weight and a ridiculous 100% luck. This thing doesn't just catch fish, it dominates them. Plus, the Hexed mutation adds 1.5x value to your haul. Sounds insane, right? Well, here's the catch, literally. It's not the best for making money. You'll flex on the hardest fish, sure, but your wallet? Meh, it might not grow as fast. Still, if you're after sheer power, this rod screams, I've arrived. Next, let's talk about the Trident Rod, the moneymaker's dream. With its 150% luck and a passive that gives a 30% chance for fish to be Atlantean, hello, 3x value, this rod is basically Poseidon's gift to fishermen. Plus, the stunning mechanic, game changer. If you're aiming to make serious cash while still having the power to catch difficult fish, the Trident Rod is your best friend. Now, for the versatile angler, the Rod of the Depths is here to balance power and utility. It's like the no-life rod's little sibling, but with one crazy perk. Every 3 catches, you get a bonus fish, mutation, or even a duplicate. It's a solid option for farming EXP and clearing biomes. But if you're all about stacking cash, this one falls a bit short compared to the Trident or Aurora. Still, for sheer adaptability, it's hard to beat. Speaking of money, the Aurora rod is the rod you want during an Aurora event. With a 15% chance to land an Aurora mutation, you'll be swimming in riches. Metaphorically, of course. The downside? Its base stats won't carry you through tough catches unless you've got resilience bait or enchantments handy. But when the stars align, literally, this rod is an absolute monster for your bank account. And finally, a quick nod to the Mythical Rod and Sunken Rod. The Mythical is your go-to beginner-friendly S-tier option. Great luck, solid money making, and easy to obtain. Meanwhile, the Sunken Rod is the treasure hunter's best friend. Sure, it's not perfect for hard catches, but with a chance to snag treasure maps, it brings its own unique flavor to the table. So whether you're chasing fame, fortune, or just bragging rights in the fishing world, these S-tier rods have you covered. Which one's your favorite? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to hit that like button if this helped you decide what to grind for next. The video ends here. See you in another video. Don't forget to subscribe.